ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति सुखदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागररघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सागरललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामी इति नामिनि। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पशुपदिशतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। नमो ब्राह्मण देवाय गो ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगत हिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय ते नमः। सप्तकांत गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरकृषे नमः। पाञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
हरे कृष्णा वेलकम टू टुडेस क्लास। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकीम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीगुरु दीनदायनं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामीति नामिनि। देव श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। So we are reading prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. We have to start from verse 20. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, verse 20. यस्मिन् यतो यर्हि येन च यस्य अस्मात् यस्मै यथा यद् उथा यस्त्व अपरा परो वा भावः करोति विकरोति पृथक् स्वभावः संचोदितस्तद् अखिलं भवतः स्वरूपम्। Can repeat after me. यस्मिन् यतो यर्हि येन च यस्य यस्माद्
यस्मिन् यतो यर्हि येन च यस्य यस्मात्
यस्मै यथा यद् उता यस्त्व अपरः परो वा
यस्मै
यस्मै
यथा
यथा यत् यस्त्व
परो वा
भावः करोति विकरोति पृथक् स्वभावः
भावः करोति विकरोति पृथक् स्वभावः।
सञ्चोतिदस्तदखिलं भवतः स्वरूपम्
सञ्चोदितस्तदखिलं
सञ्चोदितस्तदखिलं
भवतः
भवता
स्वरूपम्
स्वरूपम्
यस्मिन् यतो यर्हि येन च यस्मात्
यस्मिन् यतो
यस्मिन् यतो
येन च
येनाय च यस्य
यस्माद्
यस्मात्
यस्मै यथा यद् उथा यस्त्व अपरः परो वा
यस्मै
यस्मै यथा यत्ता यत्त्वा अपरापरो
अपरापरो
वा
वा
भावः करोति विकरोति पृथक् स्वभावः
भावः करोति
भावकरोति
विकरोति
विकरोति
पृथक्
पृथक्
स्वभावः
स्वभावः
सञ्चोतिदस्तदखिलं भवतः स्वरूपम्
सञ्चोदितस्तदखिलं
सञ्चोदितस्तदखिलं
भवतः
भावता
स्वरूपम्
स्वरूपम्
Thank you. Translation by His Divine Grace. इसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. My dear Lord, everyone in this material world is under the modes of material nature, being influenced by goodness, passion, and ignorance. Everyone, from the greatest personality, Lord Brahma, down to the small ant, works under the influence of these modes. Therefore, everyone in this material world is influenced by your energy. The cause for which they work, the place where they work, the time when they work, the matter due to which they work, the goal of life they have considered final, and the process for obtaining this goal, all are nothing but manifestation of your energy. Indeed, since the energy and energetic are identical, all of them are but manifestation of you. So we'll read the purport. One of you can start reading.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'll start.
Yeah, yes.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Whether one thinks himself protected by his parents, by the government, by some place, or by some other cause, everything is due to the various potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything that is done, whether in the higher, middle, or lower planetary systems, is due to the supervision or control of the Supreme Lord. It is therefore said, Karmana Deva Nitrena Jantur Deho Papatye. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul within the core of everyone's heart, gives inspirations for action according to one's mentality. All these mentalities are merely facilities given by Krishna to the person acting. Bhagavad Gita therefore says, Matha Smitir Jnanam Apoham Nam Cha. Everyone works according to the inspiration given by the Super Soul, because everyone has a different goal of life. Everyone acts differently as guided by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The words Yasmin Yato Yarhi Yena Cha Yasya Yasmat indicate that all activities, whatever they may be, are but different features of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All of them are created by the living entity and fulfilled by the mercy of the Lord. Although all such activities are non-different from the Lord nonetheless directs Sarva Dharman Parityagyane Mam Ekam Sarmanam Vraja. Give up all other duties and surrender unto me. When we accept this direction from the Lord, we can actually become happy. As long as we work according to our material senses, we are in material life. But as soon as we act according to the real transcendental direction of the Lord, our position is spiritual. The activities of bhakti, devotional service, are directly under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Narada Pancharatra states, Sarvopadhi Vinirmuktam Paratvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Seva Nam Bhaktir Uchyate. When one gives up materially designated position and works are directly under the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one's spiritual life is revived. This is described as Swarupena Avasthithi, being situated in one's original constitutional position. This is a real description of mukti or liberation from material bondage. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. I'll read once again. My dear Lord, everyone in this material world is under the modes of material nature, being influenced by goodness, passion, and ignorance. Everyone from the greatest personality, Lord Brahma, down to the small ant, works under the influence of these modes. Therefore, everyone in this material world is influenced by your energy, the cause for which they work, the place where they work, the time when they work, the matter due to which they work, the goal of life they have considered final, and process for obtaining this goal. All are nothing but manifestation of your energy. Indeed, since the energy and energetic are identical, all of them are but manifestation of you. So, in this verse, Prahlad Maharaj, what is he saying? So basically, we see that people are in different influenced by different modes, right? Goodness, passion, and ignorance. So there are variety of people, and all the 84 lakh species have been evolved because of this variation in the gunas, right? The percentage only differs in each of this. So even in the goodness, also there is even in the animal species also there are again bifurcation of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So basically everything is energy of Lord, right? So nothing can happen without Krishna's will, we see. Indirectly Krishna is involved in everything, right? One is like through either we are acting as per the material modes when we are Krishna has three energies, no? What are they? Three energies, right? External energy. What are the other two?
Mataji,
Internal
external
margin.
energy, marginal energy, internal energy.
Okay. What is marginal energy, Ankita Mataji?
Marginal energy. Sorry, Mataji, I completely got blank right now.
Okay, no problem.
Internal
Yes,
living
yes, Shailaja.
entity.
Living
Marginal
entities.
and
Mm.
yeah.
Okay, what does it mean actually? Okay, what is external energy? What is external energy? And what is internal energy?
Mataji, sorry, external energy
Yeah.
is basically the
Mm.
material manifestation. Internal energy is what the transcendental nature of Krishna is. This is what
Mm.
do I remember.
Yes. And what is marginal energy? Living entities, okay. How is it marginal energy? What is the meaning of marginal energy?
Uh, Mataji, marginal is basically who are at the borderline of spiritual life and material life.
You're coming nearer to that. So basically, marginal energy means so there is a choice. So the living entities have a choice to be either in external energy of the Lord or be in the internal energy of the Lord. So now we are attending this class and we are hearing the Bhagavatam. So which is this energy now? Which in energy is influenced has influenced on us now?
Internal
Internal.
energy.
Internal energy. So now if we leave and or we are if we are forget or we go with friends for party and all, so then what happens?
Oh, that is external energy.
Yeah, that is external energy. And basically a devotee is not much attracted or he consciously avoids, right? Because that is the surrender which means proper surrender means Krishna says that the Goswamis explains that surrenders has six principles. So one has to, I mean, accepting anukulasya sankalpaha, pratikulasya varchanam. So anukulasya sankalpaha means accepting anything which is favoring my spiritual life. So and rejecting everything and pratikulasya varjanam means rejecting anything which is not supporting my spiritual journey, right? So anukulasya sankalpa pratikulasya varjanam rakshishyatiti vishwaso. So the devotee has firm faith that Krishna will protect me because spiritual life is not very easy, right? So there are ups and downs as like because in this material world there is always a challenges. So many challenges are there. So it's not that a devotee's life is very always happy and peaceful. There are so many challenges, but then he has that firm faith. So again, who is giving that faith is also Krishna only because he's there at Super Soul, right? So Rakshishyatiti Vishwaso, he that firm faith that Krishna will protect me. So if I do devotional service, then at the end of my life, Krishna will surely take me back to Godhead. So having that firm faith and engaging in the devotional service. Uh, Goptritve अनुकूलस्य संकल्पः प्रतिकूलस्य वर्जनं रक्षिष्यात् इति विश्वासो गोप्तृत्वे वर्णनं तथा means he will be always there as a guide, right? Krishna will be as a guardian. So we see that in the previous class verse we saw that even in this material world, though we all, we have somebody protecting us, right? Like the immediate parents or siblings. So we have someone protect our parents are protecting us, but still we are not completely safe, right? So even the parents cannot do everything. There is some limitation for that. But Krishna will always be there guiding us in our heart as super soul. So sometimes we are alone, we don't have, or we can't reach our parents for help. But then when we call out sincerely from heart, Krishna will guide us. So just like Draupadi, right? She called out when she was, so many people were there in the assembly of Kurus. Such a great personality. She has 5 husbands. Did anyone were able to help her? Nobody, na?
No, Mataji.
She was, yeah, nobody was there to help her. I mean, but then when she called out for Krishna, then Krishna immediately, he came and he protected her. So just like even the Gajendra, no, Gajendra was in pain. What happened to Gajendra?
Mataji, the crocodile held his one leg for nearly 1000 years, I remember. And Gajendra was in severe pain. And then he cried out with a lotus in his snout, calling out to Krishna. And Krishna came on his Garuda and he started saying, Garuda, you're flying very slow. My devotee is in pain. Please fly faster. And Garuda says, Prabhu, I am flying at my highest speed. You are eager to reach there.
Okay, I think it is 1 year or something. Okay. Which he was holding, but still it's a very long time because somebody holding for such a long time, and that too in the pain. I mean, when there is a pain, just imagine if when we have something, we are not well, we are not even able to chant our rounds properly, right? We will be thinking how when it get over, like kind of. But then he's a pure devotee, so because he's a devotee in the previous life, right? He was Indradimna Maharaj. So he was actually able to pray to the Lord even in that pain. He was offering flower, right? He offered a flower. He was in the lake, so immediately he got a lotus and he held with his trunk and he offered the prayers. So when Krishna came, immediately it is said in such a speed Krishna came in his Garuda. So whenever there is devotees, they are always in internal potency of the Lord. Now, unlike because we are sometimes what happens, sometimes we are in the internal potency when we are engaging in the devotional service or reading Prabhupada books. All these are reading the scripture, chanting, internal potency of the Lord. But then there are stages in that. It's not in completely pure. It's again, no. Last week I was explaining like again how it is further divided in the subdivisions of mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So everything indirectly is the influence of Krishna's energy only. So actually, chapter 15, when we see, so we understand like Krishna gives a glimpse of spiritual world in the chapter 15, right? He explains how this material world is. No, what is it compared to material world in the chapter 15?
Inverted tree.
Inverted what tree? Banyan tree, right? Because banyan tree is very huge with so many branches, twigs, you know. So it is, he says it is just comparison. It's not true. It is not found also anywhere to see like how it looks. But Krishna gives an image like when we inverted see a tree we never see, no. But then when we go near banks of river, so there is a shadow, right? When we see the shadow of a tree, we can see how it looks, no. So similarly, this is actually uh, this this material world is said to have grown by what? What is it watering this material world? Anyone
Mataji,
remembers?
desire.
Yeah, because of desire, we have this has actually manifested. Okay, but how does it grow by so many branches? So many. What are the so many branches? Higher planet, lower planet, middle planets. We have so many things. No, how did this grow?
Modes of
This
nature.
Yeah, very good. Yes, just like the Krishna says, just like a water, because of water a plant grows, and because of this modes of nature only this material world is growing and growing big. No, so many planets have evolved because of manifestation of three modes. When a living entity in particular mode, like if he is in a mode of goodness, there is a high chances that he can go to higher planets, no, from Brahmaloka, Satyaloka. And likewise, it is said that this earth is symbolized by mode of passion. So people who are in mode of passion will take birth in earth. And that is why we see most of the population are in mode of passion and ignorance. And ignorance, people also little bit of passion or little bit of goodness must be there. So they have come in this material world. Otherwise, it is said if completely in ignorance, they will be either in the lower planet or in the species, right? So they will be born in a lower species of life. So and Krishna says there that how he is helping us in each and every way, just by, like he says in the chapter 7 also Krishna says that matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mayi sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. No? So he says there that there is nothing beyond me. I am holding this entire universe just like uh, I mean, by my energy, he says. Everything, all the planets are there in orbit just by because of my energy. And Prabhupada says, gives the analogy, just like when we hold a dust in our fist, no, it will stay. But when you open, it will all fell off. No? There is no, I mean, it can't stand. So similarly, if there is no Krishna's energy, it will all here and there scatter, and we can't imagine like no, they may collide, and I mean it will be explosion, and I mean, nothing can exist. No, no, none of the material, material world can exist. Spiritual world is always eternal, but material world, they cannot exist without God. And Krishna tells us like how we are all part and parcel of Krishna. Mamaivam जीवलोके जीवलोक जीवभूतः सनातनः मनषष्ठानि indriyani prakritisthani karshati. Krishna says like all living entities are my part and parcel. But then, because of the senses, which includes mind, right? So the five senses and the mind, they are actually struggling in this material world. So Krishna knows, and because out of compassion, he says how I am protecting, no? So how grossly Krishna is protecting the universe, and he says that, and internally also how is like he says I am becoming the life air, no, and I am all the, and I become the light of the sun. The actually the heat and light of the sun. It is said it is coming from Krishna. So Krishna has arranged everything for us here. So we may think like, okay, we are getting from sun. So where does the sun get that light? No, it is again from Krishna. So Brahma Samhita also there is a shloka. Anyone knows that verse which speaks about sun god? यक्षाक्षुरेश सविता सकलग्रहाणां राजा समस्तसुरमूर्तिरशेष तेजः यस्याज्ञया भ्रमति संव्रतकालचक्रो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. So it says that sun god is considered to be the king of all planets because without him no planet can have light, no? but uh, uh, but with whose direction is he rotating, no? I mean it have day and night, it's a rotation, right? So this is happening, it is said yasyagnaya brahmati kala chakro, how the kala chakra is moving only because by the instruction of the supreme lord Krishna. And also it says that Devi also, no? Srishti sthiti pralaya sadhana shakti rekha chaye vayasya bhuvanani bhivarti durga इच्छानुरूपमपि यस्य च चेष्टते सा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. So again, even so this material energy of the Lord, which is called as Maya. Now in Maya there are two. What is that? Maya, there are two.
Yoga
Krishna.
Maya and Mahamaya.
Yeah, Mahamaya is this material world, right? So, so that energy, she's saying, she is actually, how is she working? She is also maintaining this universe by, as per the instruction of the Supreme Lord, it is said. So everyone, if we take, so here it is done, and Krishna is not partial. He will, whoever surrenders unto him. We see the example of like Gajendra, right? And even we know, like in Lord Ram pastime, there was a small squirrel who also attained Vaikuntha because he was helping the Lord Ram to build the bridge. So Krishna identifies in the smallest, service done, even by any small living in insignificant entity also. So Krishna will be observing because he's there as Paramatma in everyone's heart. So from Lord Brahma, so it is said in Brahma Samhita, so whoever surrenders from Lord Indra or Lord Brahma until to the Indra Gopa is said to be the smallest insect in this planet. Indra Gopa. So karmani nirdhati kinchuta bhakti bhajam. There it is said that everyone's sinful reaction will be removed by the Lord, including from Lord Brahma till the smallest insect. It's because Krishna knows that we have been in, why are we doing? By nature, we are pure souls. But then, because of the influence of these modes, we are coming under, we are, what to say, contaminated. No? The soul is get contaminated and we are engaging in different activities because of our desire to enjoy, right? So in that, and Krishna, Prabhupada also gives in purport from the same chapter, 15th chapter, how Krishna says that even from him only comes matta smritir jnanam apohanancha. Yes, what is this full shloka? Anyone knows? Chapter 15. This is a famous shloka. Sarvasya chaha. सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मत्तः स्मृतिज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृत् वेदविदेव चाहम्. Krishna says there that from me only, no, from me only is coming the matta, smriti, the memory, no, the knowledge. Jnana means knowledge. Apohana means forgetfulness. So everything is given by me only. So how Krishna is indirectly responsible for everything. I mean, he is the cause, we can understand from this verse. So actually this verse, we understand that one is that everything is coming from Krishna, and when one understands it, and when his desires are purified, right? So when he is in a transcendental platform, he is able to understand that Krishna is everything, and then he engages in unalloyed devotional service, which is said here. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam, giving up all material designated positions. So we have so many positions in this material world, right? So giving up everything, and like there are different material position. If we say that even the relationships also some kind of positions. Any devotees who have given up material designations for Krishna in Shastras?
Oh, Mataji, Dhruv Maharaj.
Dhruv Maharaj, what he gave up?
He basically, as per the story goes by, he went to pray for wealth and prosperity, and ultimately he said, "Take away everything and let me just, give me your devotion." One,
Yes.
he is Dhruv Maharaj. Then Mirabai.
Okay. Yeah. And from, yes, any other example? Yeah, good one. So
Um,
Dhruv Maharaj, yes, it is said that when he saw the Lord and he felt ashamed of himself, right? So
yeah.
he said that, oh, I was actually looking for piece of glass. I mean, it is a diamond. I've got diamond. I don't want. He felt very bad. No, why did I ask for it? Like that, he felt ashamed. So yeah, he wanted to give up all the designation. He didn't wanted to serve as a king. But then did Krishna accept for that? Krishna said, you still have a time, you have to rule the world. No, now later Krishna said that you will be given a planet, right? Dhruv planet, which though it's a part of material world, it won't get annihilated during annihilation. I mean, because all material world get annihilated, but then that won't get annihilated. So that was the benediction Dhruv Maharaj got. So yeah. So who are the others like Kumaras? No, four
Four Kumara.
Kumaras.
Yes.
Yeah. So they were actually supposed to create progeny, no? That is why Lord Brahma created this universe, and for creation, mode of passion is required. So otherwise, how can one create, right? So otherwise, he cannot. So he created, and he wanted to increase the population in everywhere in all the different planets, and that is why he created four sons. No, from his mind, it is said. So they were Manasa Putra, they were called. So, but then the four Kumaras, they didn't obey their father because they were so much in knowledge. They said that we can't, no, we are not interested because they know that it is binding. Getting into the Grihastha ashram or in this, they know, no, how difficult it is. Not is even like Lord Indra was not spared, right? So and so like that, they gave up the position. They said we will remain the like brahmachari, and they we look like they opted to look like a small like 5-year-old children, because when they grew up they were I mean they may change their mind. No, they were afraid. They didn't want to take any chance. So they are like that, and then they were sons of Daksha. You know, Daksha was a great king, and the children they gave up and they wanted to become the Paramahamsas. No, they were Brahmanas. They didn't want to get married. Daksha made so many children, and because of Narada Muni's instructions, they didn't. They all, like it is said, 10,000 children. In first, they all gave up. They said we are not going to get married, and then second time it was 5,000 children. No, so they all nobody wanted to get married. So that was the thing. So like that, many people have given designations. Like Vibhishan gave up his designation. No? He gave up his designation as brother of Ravana, and he joined Lord Ram. So like that, many people have given up, and they wanted to work under the direction of Supreme Lord. So anybody else you can remember who has given up? And our Goswamis, right? So our Goswamis, Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, all were actually born in very aristocratic families, and they gave up everything, and they were actually in very big, holding good positions as ministers. Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. So they all wanted to serve the Lord in his mission, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, of spreading the Hare Krishna mantra. And actually, they were given two works. What were the two works given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to them?
Mataji, to first, find Vrindavan, one. And second, I think so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself found Radha Kund it was a very hard work. And second, to revive, the Krishna consciousness in Vrindavan among Brajvasis.
Yeah, to write the books, he also instructed them.
Yes,
So
yes.
they made lot of books were written by both the Goswamis. So because of which we have a good basis. Prabhupada actually all his purports, he has reference from all the acharyas, and everything is there. That is why there is no need for us to separately read those books. When someone asked Prabhupada that if they can read those books, Prabhupada said, I mean, we have to first read this, and everything is there. The essence is given. Prabhupada has already given that everything here, and there's no need. So like that. So when they understand, they give all their designations, material designations, and they work tat paratvena nirmalam. Rishikena Rishikesha means what? Rishikena means senses, material senses. And Rishikesha means master of material senses. So Krishna is said to be the master of senses. So serving the Lord with the senses, just like who is that devotee who served with all the senses?
Mataji, Ambrish Maharaj.
Yes, Ambrish Maharaj, no? Ambrish Maharaj, it is said like he served the Lord with all his senses. So, similarly, it is said Sevanam Bhakti Ruchit. So when somebody is situated in such a platform, so that is the original constitutional position. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jivere Swarupoy Krishnera Nityadas. That is our original position, the soul's original position. So then that is the description of mukti, no? Save liberation from material bondage. Because we are not, the devotee is no more attracted. No, that is the main problem. No, in this material world, we are getting attracted to the material things. So, but when that is not there, that itself is liberation. So, liberation does not mean that we have to leave this life and then after this life we get to abode of Krishna. And Mayavadis, they think that liberation means we should not have a body, becoming one with the Lord. No? That those things are not the liberation. Here it is said, when someone is situated in such a platform where he is not attracted by any of the fruitive activities or speculative knowledge, no, or like that, but then he is interested in serving the Lord. That itself is a mukti or liberation from material bondage. Let's go to the next one. मायामनसृजति कर्ममयं बलीयः कालेन चोदित गुणानुमतेन पुंसः छन्दोमयं यद् अजयार्पित षोडशर्षं संसारचक्रम् अजको अतितरेत्पदन्यः मायामनसृजति कर्ममयं बलीयः
Maya Srijati Karma Mayam Baliya.
Karmamayam baliyah
कालेन चोदितगुणानुमतेन पुंसः
Kalena Chodita Gunanumatena Punsaha.
छन्दोमयं यद् अजयार्पित षोडशारम्
Chandomayam
Chandomayam Yat Ayataram
षोडशारम्
संसारचक्रम् अजको अतितरेत्पदन्यः
संसारचक्रम् अजको
Anyaha.
मायामनसृजति कर्ममयं बलीयः
Mayamana
सृजति कर्ममयं बलीयः
कालेन चोदिता गुणानुमतेन पुंसः
कालेन चोदितगुणामतेन पुंसः
छन्दोमयं यद् अजयार्पितषोडशारम्
Chandomyam
छन्दोमयं यदयार्पितषोडशारम्
संसारचक्रम् अजको अतितरेत्पदन्यः
संसारचक्रम् अजको अतितरेत्पदन्यः
Please read. Mangala Mataji, yes.
Yeah, Mataji. Translation. O Lord, O Supreme Eternal, by expanding your plenary portion, you have created the subtle bodies of the living entities through the agency of your external energy, which is agitated by time. Thus, the mind entraps the living entity in an unlimited varieties of desires to be fulfilled by the Vedic directions of Karma Kanda, fruitive activity, and the 16 elements. Who can get free from this entanglement unless he takes shelter at your lotus feet? Should I read purport also, Mataji?
Yes, please continue.
Purport. If the hand of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is present in everything, where is the question of being liberated from material engagement to spiritual, blissful life? Indeed, it's a fact that Krishna is the source of everything, as we understand from Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. All the activities in both the spiritual and material world are certainly conducted by the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the agency of either the material or spiritual nature. As further confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, मायाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिः सूयते Sacharaakaram. Without the direction of the Supreme Lord, material nature cannot do anything. It cannot act independently. Therefore, in the beginning, the living entity wanted to enjoy the material energy and to give the living entity all facility. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, created this material world and gave the living entity the facility to concoct different ideas and plans through the mind. These facilities offered by the Lord to the living entity constitute the 16 kinds of perverted support in terms of the knowledge gathering senses, the working senses, the mind, and the five material elements. The wheel of repeated birth and death is created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but to direct the bewildered living entity in progress toward liberation according to varied stages of advancement, different directions are given in the Vedas. Chandomayam. If one wants to be elevated to the higher planetary systems, he may follow the Vedic directions, as the Lord states in Bhagavad Gita 9.25. Yanti deva vrita devan, pitrun yanti pitrvrtaha, bhutani yanti bhutevya, bhuteja yanti mad yajnino Yajnino api mam. Those who worship the demigod will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. Those who worship ancestors go to the ancestors, and those who worship me will live with me. The real purpose of the Vedas is to direct one back home, back to Godhead, but the living entity, not knowing the real goal of his life, wants to go sometimes here, sometimes there, and do sometimes this and sometimes that. In this way, he wanders throughout the entire universe, imprisoned in various species and thus engaging in various activities for which he must suffer the reaction. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore says,
ब्रह्मांड भ्रमिते को
Brahmanda,
न भाग्यवान्ति गुरु कृष्ण प्रसादे
Brahmanda
पाया.
Brahmite. Can I read it once again, Mataji?
Yeah.
ब्रह्मांड भ्रमिते को न भाग्यवान जीवा गुरु कृष्णा प्रसादे पाये भक्तिलता बीजा. The fallen, conditioned living entity trapped by the external energy loiters in the material world. But if by good fortune he meets a bona fide representative of the Lord who gives him the seed of devotional service, and if he takes advantage of such a guru or representative of God, he receives, he receives the Bhakti Lata Bija, the seed of devotional service. If he properly cultivates Krishna consciousness, He is then gradually elevated to the spiritual world. The ultimate conclusion is that one must surrender to the principles of Bhakti Yoga, for then one will gradually attain liberation. No other method of liberation from the material struggle is at all possible.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji. We'll do one thing. We'll do one more reading. Someone else can read. This is a similar one. Next verse also. Then we will do. सत्त्वं हि नित्य विजितात्मगुणा स्वधाम्ना कालो वशीकृत विसृज्य विसर्गशक्तिः चक्रे विश्रितम् अजयेश्वर षोडशारे निष्पीड्यमानम् उपकार विभो प्रपन्नम् सत्त्वं हि नित्य विजितात्मगुणा स्वधाम्ना
Satvam hi nitya
Sattvam hi
vijitatma
nitya
guna
vijitatma
swadhamna
gunas
कालो वाशीकृता विसृज्य विसर्गशक्तिः
kalo
alo
vashikrita visarga shakti
चक्रे विश्रुतम् अजयेश्वर षोडशारे
chakre
Chakre
vishritam
vicharitam ajayeshwara shudasare
निष्पीड्यमानम् उपकर्ष विभो प्रपन्नम्
nishpidyamanam
nishpidyamanam
vibhumanam
vibhu prapannam
तत्त्वं हि नित्यविजितात्मगुणस्वधाम्ना
satvam
sattvam
hi
hi
nitya
nitya
vijitatma
vijitatma
guna
swadhamna
कालो वशीकृत विसृज्य विसर्गशक्तिः
kala
kalo vasikrita
vasikrita visrajya
visrajya
visarga
visarga
shaktihi
shaktihi
चक्रे विसृष्ट विसृष्टम् अजयेश्वर षोडशारे
chakre
chakre
vishrishtam
vishrishtam
ajayeshwara
ajayeshwara shodashare
shodasare
निष्पीड्यमानम् उपकर्ष विभो प्रपन्नम्
nishpidyamanam
nishpidyamanam
pakarsa vibho
karsha
prapannam
vibhu prapannam.
शैलजा माताजी शैलजा माताजी will read.
yes Mataji.
Yeah. Yes.
Purport by his divine grace.
No, translation. From translation.
Sorry, translation. My dear Lord, is it echoing?
Yeah, it's echoing, Mataji.
Okay, then I'll change this. I'm on this and this both. Okay. My dear Lord, O Supreme Great, you have created this material world of 16 constituents, but you are transcendental to their material qualities. In other words, these material qualities are under your full control and you are never conquered by them. Therefore, the time element is your representation. My Lord, O Supreme, no one can conquer you. As for me, however, I am being crushed by the wheel of time, and therefore I surrender fully unto you. Now kindly take me under the protection of your lotus feet. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. The wheel of material miseries is also a creation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he is not under the control of the material energy. Rather, he is the controller of the material energy, whereas we, the living entities, are under its control. When we give up our constitutional position, Jivera Swarupahaya Krishnera Nityadasa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead creates this material energy and her influence over the conditioned soul. Therefore, he is the supreme, and only he can deliver the conditioned soul from the onslaught of the material nature. Mam evaya prapandante mayam ita tarantite. Maya, the external energy, continuously imposes upon the conditioned souls the suffering of the threefold miseries of this material world. Therefore, in the previous verse, Prahlad Maharaja prayed to the Lord, "But for your lordship, no one can save me." Prahlad Maharaja has also explained that a child's protectors, his parents, cannot save the child from the onslaught of birth and death, nor can medicine and a physician save one from death, nor can a boat or similar means of protection save a person drowning in the water, for everything is controlled by Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, suffering humanity must surrender to Krishna, as Krishna himself demands in the last instruction of Bhagavad Gita 18.66. सर्वधर्मं परित्यज्य माम एकम शरणं व्रज अहम त्वं सर्व पापेभ्यो मोक्षास्मि मा शुचः. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. All of human society must take advantage of this offer and thus be saved by Krishna from the danger of being crushed by the wheel of time, the wheel of past, present, and future. The word nishpidyamanam, being crushed, is very significant. Every living entity in the material condition is actually being crushed again and again, and to be saved from this position, one must take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then one will be happy. The word prapannam is also very significant, for unless one fully surrenders to the Supreme Lord, one cannot be saved from being crushed. A criminal is put in prison and punished by the government, but the same government, if it likes, can release the criminal from imprisoned life. Similarly, we must know conclusively that a material condition of suffering has been allotted to us by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and if we want to be saved from this suffering, we must appeal to the same controller. Thus, one can be saved from this material condition. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So, my voice is okay. So, in this, we'll just go through these two verses. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. The translation, my dear Lord, O Supreme Great, you have created this material world of 16 constituents, but you are transcendental to these their material qualities. In other words, these material qualities are under your full control and you are never conquered by them. Therefore, the time element is your representation, my Lord. O Supreme, no one can conquer you. As for me, however, I am being crushed by the wheel of time, and therefore I surrender fully unto you. Now kindly take me under the protection of your lotus feet. So basically, time is also representation of the Lord. So it is said in the spiritual world, there is no time. No, everything is eternal. No, there Krishna will never grow. Like if somebody wants to have the association with the Lord, like in the parental relationship, if somebody is there, no, like Yashoda Maya and Krishna. So eternally, he is a small child to Yashoda Mata. So not just her, whoever worships, in that bhav to the Lord. So he will eternally present in that form because the time factor does not happen there. Only in the material world we have no past, present, future. So it is not there in the spiritual world. So it is said that there was nothing when Krishna, no, it was very dark. Krishna, that is the Pradhana, it is said. When Mahavishnu glanced over the Pradhana, then no, then the universe got created, and that will along with that even the time, no, the time factor was also created. So in chapter 11 also, when Krishna says Arjuna in chapter 11 that Arjuna, you can see everything in this, no, his gigantic body, that universal form of the Lord. So he says, you can see the past, present, future, everything in one place, no, in me. And there, when seeing everything, Arjuna also sees that all the soldiers are getting crushed in his teeth. No? Basically, they're all dying. So he see that just like how the moth will die. I mean, it will rush to the. I mean, it's attracted by light. It rush to the light and it get burned. So similarly, they are rushing towards death because of their actions, right? By doing all sinful actions, the death is coming near. It is said the Krishna will come as a death, for the non-devotees or for demons, demonic mentality people, and that is why everybody are afraid of death because Krishna creates such fear. No, they're all fearing. We see in that chapter 11 how even the everybody were feared, even the devatas were feared because they were thinking that annihilation time must have come. And they were all praying, Swasti, Swasti, They were saying like calming that universal form of the Lord. So Krishna is the time factor, but here it is said that Prabhupada gives here, I think it's in this and the next one. So, but when we take to the shelter of the Lord, because Krishna has created everything, Krishna can also protect us from that, right? No, Prabhupada says, I think in the next verse, in the last 23, no? Yeah. Was it 23, Mataji, or 22? 22. Yeah. So here it is said. Similarly, we must know conclusively that our material condition of suffering has been allotted to us by personality of Godhead. So allotted because Krishna is not creating anything. Because of our own actions, we are getting everything, the reactions here. And we are suffering in this. So in this material world. And if we want to be saved from this suffering, we must appeal to same controller. So Krishna is the controller, right? So Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam Sarvaloka Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Surudam Sarvabhutanam Jnatvam Mam Shanti Mrichati. So it is said that is the peace formula. What is the peace formula? So how can one attain peace in this material world? It is said to understand, when one understands that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. So because otherwise we all think we are enjoyer and we want to enjoy, exploit this material world. Even in chapter 7, Krishna says that Apareyamitastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhuta mahabaho yeyedham dharyate jagat. First he explains about the material nature in the 6th verse, I think. And then 6th or 5th, okay, 4th verse. So he says there are about the senses, and then he says higher to them is the material, living entities, which are actually exploiting this material universe. So we are actually exploiting, thinking that we are here to enjoy, but one should understand that supreme enjoyer is only Krishna. When we satisfy the Lord, automatically we get satisfied because of being the part and parcel of the Lord. So that we are not able to understand in conditioned position of ours. But when we get the mercy of the Guru, it is said in the verse we saw, Brahmande Pramite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Paye, Krupa Paye, Bhakti Lata Beach. So we are all, we are all fallen. It is said fallen conditioned entity trapped by external energy loiters in material world. But if by good fortune he meets a bona fide representative of the Lord who gives in the seed of devotional service, if he takes advantage of such a Guru, we have come in the association, but are we taking the real advantage is the question, right? Are we really taking that advantage of getting into in contact, or we got the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, but are we taking the advantage? No? And then it is said here, only then when we have the mercy, then the Bhakti Lata Bij, the seed of devotional service will grow. And it is said that Bhakti Lata Bij, very carefully we have to take care, because it is like a tender plant, no? When it is we have to take care very nicely, water it on time, put manure, and if there is any weeds or unnecessary the plants, that has to be removed. So like that we take care of the plant, right? When it is small, but when it grows like a tree, it does not need, it is very strong. I mean, it is, even if you don't water for many days, we see on the roads, right? The big trees, how are they surviving? Nobody is watering them, but Krishna is there, right? So whenever there is a rain, or they can take from the root, there is arrangement from the root. When the roots are strong, they gain water from somewhere, the groundwater, and they get sunlight. So somewhere all Lord's arrangement. So they are strong. So similarly, when we become strong in our devotional service, we cannot be shaken. No material thing outside can harm us. But currently we are not in that, right? So we have to, Prabhupada mentions that principles of Bhakti Yoga, here in the last line you can see, one has to follow. The ultimate conclusion is that one has to surrender to the principles of Bhakti Yoga. So principles of Bhakti Yoga means, so that process we know, right? The Shravanam, Kirtanam, no? All those are coming, the 9 stages, the 9 process, which are all principles of Bhakti Yoga. One has to follow, and then one can attain the Krishna Prema, right? So that liberation. So at this stage, when it is very tender, we have to take care very carefully, because with the bad association, we can again fall down. No, we have to protect so many things, because nowadays it's a social media world, and so many distractions, so many news, so many things are there to distract us. But if we are consciously not aware of it, so we will also become, because it's very difficult. Maya is very difficult to overcome. No, Krishna says, uh, what is that? Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mayeva yem prapadyante maya metam tarantite. So this material world is very difficult to overcome, the external energy of the Lord. But then somebody who surrenders onto me, they will cross this ocean of material existence, Krishna says. So Krishna will help. So when he sees that, okay, he's there as super soul, he knows how we are struggling in this material world. And he himself said that Prakriti Sthani Kashrati, they're struggling with the material senses, which include mind. So obviously, when Sri Krishna see the sorry, we are endeavoring, and he will also help. No, Krishna will show mercy on us. So we need a mercy of Guru and the Lord. So in the devotional service to cross this. So we just like any examples from Shastras where even big personalities have fall down because Maya is so strong. Anything you can remember and quote?
Mataji Bharat Maharaj.
Yes, very good. So Bharat Maharaj, what happened to Bharat Maharaj?
Mataji, he was at the second last rung of his ladder of devotion towards God, that is Bhava, and just one more step, and he would have been Prema Bhakti and liberated. But what happened? He started, as a hermit. He gave up. He gave up his kingdom and everything, and he took recourse in the jungle and as a sannyasi. And he found, abandoned fawn because the fawn's mother died in front of him. So he started taking care of the fawn, and what happened, he grew very attached to that fawn. And every day when the fawn would go grazing and would be late, he would get very tensed. Then ultimately one day what happened, the fawn didn't return, and he started to look for the fawn. And looking for the fawn, he was remembering it so heavily and calling out to the fawn. That time it had become a deer. So he called out to the deer, and he started to look for him, and he was thinking about him so intensely that something wrong may have gone with the deer. So he fell off a cliff, and he saw the deer before in his last moments, and he was thinking about the deer. And then his entire bhakti was finished, and he was reborn as a deer. But because of his own good karmas that he had generated, he could remember his past karmas, and because why he fell from Bharat to being a deer. So what he did, as he took birth as a deer, it went to the same hermitage where he used to live as Bharat, as a hermit Bharat. And there he started meditating, and he isolated himself from his four-legged beings. And he then again took a birth as Jada Bharat, somebody who could remember their past lives, and then he resumed his journey to spiritual life. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, wonderful. So, so we know like how even the Maya is so strong that Bharat Maharaj was in a stage of Bhava stage. Still, he fall down. But that is actually showing an example, because to show that how Krishna, no, Matta Smriti Gnanam Apohanam cha, he can give an remembrance to him in the next life. because he was a pure devotee, and Krishna wanted to take back, right? So he didn't wanted to have even no. It is said even little bit of desires we are having, we will not be reaching. When we go to spiritual world, we will be passing through all the higher planets. If somewhere we get attracted, it is said we will stay back there. We cannot go upward. So similarly, he wanted to purify all his desires, and he wanted to become more attached to the Lord. So that is why he gave the remembrance what happened. And no, he also, even in the deep form of life, he did so much austerity. It is said he was having only dry leaves and taking prasadam near the temples, no, thrown prasad, something like that. And somehow he, in the next life also, like he uh, was like isolated kind. He was not mixing with the materialistic people. He kept himself isolated. He behaved like a deaf and dumb, so that people should not disturb him. No, he never spoke. So somehow it came out when he was carrying a palanquin of Rahuguna. Right? Okay. So in that way, it is said my material energy is very strong. Yeah. There is another example. Is any other examples? Anybody else want to add any other examples? Remember from Shastras? You know story of Indra? Indra, how he fell. So Indra also wanted, like, Indra wanted to know how strong is this material energy, Maya. So he was made as a hog, nah? And he came to this world. No, he was a like a pig, and he then got married. He had children, and I mean, he started living actually. And then Narad Muni came to take him, like, come, no. And he was saying, no, I cannot come now, because I'm happy here. Because that is what this material, whatever body we take, that we can see any animals. Do they feel that they are animal? No, they're not in that consciousness. They're thinking that they are themselves. No, a dog thinks I'm a dog. It does not think I'm a soul. Just like we think I'm human being. Actually, we are soul. No, we are not, but we are identify ourselves with the body. Correct. So similarly, they are also, even the whatever body he was, the Indra thought him to be like that, and he said, I'm very happy. Why should I come back? No, they have to take him back forcefully. So like that, because he had more responsibilities. No, higher the position, higher responsibilities. Similarly, a dog is not punished for being like a dog or behaving, no. But a human being, if he's not behaved, no, not following dharma or the principles of bhakti, he is condemned, it is said. So in that way, there are many instances, like how even great personalities also, like Kardama Muni also we have example. So many examples in Shastras one can fall down. But then when one come in contact with a pure devotee, many times we see that Narada Muni has saved, right? Many of them from going to the uh, uh, into getting into a sinful cycle, or into sinful birth, getting in such birth. So like Mrugari, he saved. No, there are many people who Narad Muni saved. Even in Krishna's pastime, the two, Manigriva and that the two trees, right? They were punished actually, but then the curse also was a blessing, because when they become a tree, and Narad Muni, uh, they were actually drunk and they were enjoying with women. They were Gandharvas, and they didn't pay obeisances, and they were naked, in the enjoying the water sport. But Narad Muni punished them to become trees. But then when Krishna came, he also gave benediction that they will be delivered. So how they got back to their life. So by association of uh, pure devotees, or getting the mercy of the Vaishnavas, one can revive the constitutional position. Otherwise, not easy. Okay, with this we will stop here. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय. नाम जय दास ठाकुर की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Hare Krishna. Can we chant 3 times? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you for
Mataji.
joining. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.